All right, this is going to suck. I know it's going to suck because I know what a lot of you are thinking. But I'm going to try to do something that's very difficult. I am going to try to allow cooler heads to prevail. I know. Then what the fuck the point? What's the point of this channel? This channel is for lunch table conversation, knee-jerk reactions, getting every fact wrong, and having a good time while doing it. Well, guess what? I am going to play devil's advocate here. I am going to be that one friend that you're looking dead in the eyeballs going, why do you have to be the way that you are? Why can't we live in this beautiful world where we don't have to contend with the thoughts that you have just put into my head? That's what you're going to be asking. And I'm the person that's fucking it up, and I know that, and I'm so sorry. I really am. I'm incredibly sorry that I'm about to do what I'm about to do, because normally I'm with you, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. All right, you ready? I think that the referee in the game where Aston Villa scored a goal that looked like a goal but was then ruled not a goal, I think that referee got the call right. I think he got the call right. If you don't know what play I'm talking about, it's this one. Altai Bayandir basically is flying out towards the edge of his area. He's trying to collect the ball. He bobbles it once, and right as he's about to bobble it again, a toe appears, a magic toe from Aston Villa to poke the ball free. It ends up in the back of the net, a goal that at the time would have given 10-man Villa a 1-0 lead in a match that if they win, they're in the Champions League. They are now not, as a result of 2 goals that occurred for Manchester United after this. And there was immediate fervent controversy around this. One, because it would be an interesting controversial play anyways, but 2, because of the stakes of the game, right? It feels particularly cruel for a play like this where Aston Villa is able to get the ball into the back of the net in a game that decides maybe the fate of the club, right? Not totally, but at least a really significant portion of the fate of the club trying to get back into the Champions League for the second straight year. You know, Aston Villa trying to reach new heights and all this stuff. That they would be subject to such a painful ruling, because this is painful. Even though I think the ref got the call right, I'm going to explain why. It doesn't mean that it's not painful. This is the type of play, right? This is the type of play that when it goes to the VAR room, I can almost hear the people in the VAR room go, oh, damn it. Thought I was going to have a quiet weekend. I was going to go home to Janice and the kids and just kick it up and have a beer. Now I'm going to have 40 meetings. Right now I'm going to, really be hoping and praying nobody really finds out where I live because my name is public. Your quiet weekend is gone in the VAR room if you get a call like this, because be honest, it's fucked either way. Either you give the goal for Aston Villa and Manchester United is able to say that this is a dangerous play, or you give the goal or you take the goal away and Aston Villa is saying, well, he doesn't have complete control of the ball. But here's my opinion, right? And the VAR people being kind of screwed on this one, be damned. And full credit to the referee who called this on the field as no goal, right? And VAR just didn't overturn it. They had to look at it, but they didn't overturn it. Right, the referees immediately blew it dead and ruled that it was no goal, and I think they made the correct call. Here is why. I know I sound like that guy on TikTok. If you allow this goal, you have created, you open up a can of worms that will be very difficult to put back, of defining goalkeeper control very specifically, and more importantly, the safety of goalkeepers, right? Because there is a phenomenon in ice hockey, and this is where sometimes me being really intimately familiar with a ton of other sports, namely the North American ones, comes in handy. There are goalkeepers in ice hockey, and they can freeze the puck. They grab it, and they force a face-off, right? They're holding onto the puck. It's in a glove. It's in their body. It's somewhere. And once they have kind of control over where the puck is, a whistle blows, and a face-off happens. You don't need to know what a face-off is. It doesn't matter. Right? But there is a phenomena where players will come in and try and whack the goalkeeper to see if they can jostle the puck loose. But the officials really try to cut down on that because it's dangerous to the goalkeeper. Now, the goalkeepers in hockey are they're wearing battle armor, full battle armor to deal with that. And they've got teammates that are able to come in and seriously defend them from that. Goalkeepers in soccer, in football, they are fully exposed, right? It is dangerous. You are talking to, and this is actually not the reason I have this opinion, but you are listening to somebody who has broken their cheekbone and received a severe concussion because of this sort of play. Goalkeeper sprinting out, attacker sprinting the other direction. He tried to jump over me. He didn't clear me. He hit me right in the face. My head whipped back so hard I didn't remember the next day. Okay. I did, however, stand up and walk off the field. I've been told. Right? But we do not want to live in a world where we are encouraging attackers to enter the goalkeeper's personal space to try and fish out if they've bobbled the ball slightly, which this was a slight bobble. Now, if the goalkeeper bobbles it and it leaves their personal space, fucking fair game. I love those plays. Goalkeeper mistakes should be punished. It pisses me off that my opinion is that this one shouldn't. The ball is just still in his control. It just is. I don't give a shit about the stepping on the hand. That's something that other people have focused on. That's something that is focused on by this post that I showed you, obviously. They're talking about the fact that don't stamp on the keeper's hand. I mean, yes, I guess that's technically a foul, but I think more importantly, I don't think the referee saw that he stepped on his hand. I think the referee saw that he entered his personal space to try to get the ball out. And this isn't a goalkeeper standing there waiting to put his hands on the ball when an attacker gets close enough, right? This is a slight bobble and a goalkeeper that is, if you watch this replay, within a quarter of a second of having full control of the ball. Like full, firm control of the ball. It is in between his hands. His hands are not over here. They are right here. He is in the process of kind of grabbing that ball, and you just don't want to encourage, because if you do encourage it, players will do it. And they will do it to a reckless degree because these players, it's not their fault. They're paid millions of dollars to win. And so if you can get paid an extra few million because you're really feisty at diving in to try and jar the ball loose from goalkeepers, we're going to end up with a lot of injured goalkeepers and not a lot more goals. Because let's be honest, this play basically never happens. And I wish that I would feel comfortable rewarding this kind of determination, this kind of guile, to be able to actually be able to poke the ball kind of out of the goalkeeper's hands in this way. Right? But if the goalkeeper has his hands right in the vicinity of the ball, in a way where he's not trying to waste time, but in a way where he's actively just grabbing the ball. Right? And again, I'm not talking about over here. I'm talking about here. Right? It's jostling around a little bit in here. You cannot let this happen. You can't. It opens up too much of a can of worms. It's too dangerous. There is a reason goalkeepers are protected, because when they're going for the ball, they are exposed. Right? Goalkeepers have this sort of rule in multiple different areas. Right? If a goalkeeper has the ball pinned to the ground with one hand in the ground, you can't kick it out from there. It is within the goalkeeper's control. If the goalkeeper is coming out to get to a ball in a corner, any significant contact that isn't an attempt to play the ball is going to be a foul against the goalkeeper. Or not, like the foul is called on somebody else fouling the goalkeeper, right? Because goalkeepers are in these sorts of dangerous positions a lot. And this, for me, this call falls into that realm. But I cannot stress enough how much it sucks. Because if Bayendier had this ball hit his knee and it popped out just a little bit, this is fair game. But he didn't. He just didn't squeeze it on the first try. He jostled it. And it was a really opportunistic play to be able to get to it. And I want to be able to reward that, but you can't. You just can't. It makes me so, so sad that you can't do it. So I know that a lot of you will be disappointed in me for this opinion. You'll be looking at me going, Zealand, I want fun things to happen in the world. And don't worry, there are a lot of very fun, interesting things to happen in the world. But just because you're able to knock the ball free does not mean that it isn't a foul if you take it. That's just not the way the rules of the game works, and it's not the way they should work. It's not the way they should work. If a goalkeeper is holding the ball out like this and getting ready to punt it, and you come up from behind him and head it out of his hand, which used to be legal, but is not anymore, that's a ball that you can claim. It is not secured. You can knock it right out. But that's not allowed anymore to prevent that sort of dangerous chaos that would happen around a play like that pretty frequently. But if a goalkeeper takes it and spins it on the ground out like he's going to kick it, and you sneak up behind him and steal the ball, that's perfectly legal. That's the type of guile that we should be encouraging. That's the type of guile that we should be looking forward to. And that's the type of guile that I look forward to praising in the future. As a part of this channel, I want to root for that stuff. But I can't root for this. The ref actually got it right. I make so many videos where I rail against the refs for getting it wrong. I think this was a very difficult decision that it would have been very easy not to make, but I think it was the right decision. And I am so sorry to Aston Villa fans because this is so close and it sucks. It really sucks. It does. That's the biggest takeaway. It sucks a play like this happened in such a big game.